Are you dying to be organized? Why go through life like a zombie, aimless and brainless, when you can be prepared and organized with Pretty Spooky Presents Premeditated Fervor, a productivity series that's your accomplice in accomplishment. As always, we'll enjoy our ghoul setting session with some sinister sips, snacks, and pretty spooky free printables. We'll whip up some Keep Calm and Salmon on Brunch dip and wash it all down with a low carb on the high seas 1950s zombie cocktail. We'll use our creepy Tiki themed free printables and our quarterly planning session inside my home Tiki bar, the Sunken Compass. I'm Angela, your haunted hostess, and I'm applying the pretty spooky lifestyle to planning and achieving goals by putting an eerie angle on the everyday and adding a little macabre to the mundane. And I'm giving away pretty spooky free printables, no strings attached. It's just my pretty spooky way of saying thank you for watching. Each quarter's theme is voted for and chosen by the pretty spooky community of viewers and subscribers. And this quarter's winner was vintage tiki and cocktails, which I took in the direction of zombies. The zombie is one of the most well-known tiki cocktails, and Premeditated Fervor is all about combating zombie syndrome and preventing life from falling to pieces. So be thinking about what you want next quarter's theme to be, and I'll pick your brain in the comments. So be sure to stick around for the sinister sip, because I'll be revealing how the 1950s zombie was actually a deliberate decoy to protect a tiki secret, and how I finally solved the pineapple problem for us low carb on the high seas devotees. Because we're going to need delicious brain food to lead the charge against being undead, unaware, and unprepared, we'll get started on the Keep Calm and Salmon on Brunch dip right away. It's a chilled chop and plop recipe that's approved by zombies and zombie hunters alike. This recipe is truly a no-brainer because there's no stove or oven required. So I'll be going over the battle plan to fight zombie syndrome, but don't get too comfortable. While I assemble this brain food, I'll be revealing the DNA system of productivity that keeps your life from falling to pieces. You'll want to see step N especially. It's the one that most people skip. Brains. If you saw the last episode of Premeditated Fervor, you already know where I stand regarding complicated productivity and goal setting systems. In order to keep up the fight and win every day, it's got to be quick, easy, and fun. Premeditated Fervor just takes a few minutes each morning and evening. All you need is a journal, a planner, and the pretty spooky free printables make it easy to start and end each day focused and prepared. And the theme sips and snacks turn weekly overviews into a planning party. Because everything is made the low carb on the high seas way, we'll have tasty incentives that play nicely with everyone's dietary goals. Because the very first Premeditated Fervor episode started out with a true crime theme, the system is guided by the DNA of killer goal setting, which stands for Dream Differently, Nurture Success, and Act to Accomplish, or Dream Nurture Act for short. Dream Differently is so straightforward. We know what we want, but we need to figure out why we haven't gotten it yet. Limping in zombie circles, getting nowhere in life, makes no sense at all. So all we have to do is figure out what we've been doing that hasn't worked and keep trying something different until we get there. The N in Nurture Success is all about increasing your wins and making it easier through enhancing your environment. There are different enhancements for various types of goals. Just think which obstacles might block your success and enhance your environment to reduce and avoid those obstacles. Make it so simple, even a zombie can do it. The A, or Act to Accomplish, embraces and celebrates any and all improvement, no matter how small. It doesn't matter if you zombie crawl instead of run, as long as you're pulling yourself closer to the goal, acting with your priority in mind, and taking action based on your new quarterly identity. This is also tied to the Keystone habit, which is using a journal each night to capture evidence and celebrate that you are becoming the person you want to be. And each morning you'll set the intention for the day you want to have with a brief entry to refocus on your priority, keeping the DNA acronym in mind as a guide. There are fun and thematic sentence starter stickers for the AM and PM to keep your zombie brain on track and entertained. And when the zombies are at the door, just keep calm and salmon on. As soon as we have our snacks and sips ready for our planner session, you'll get to see everything in action. starting with the quarterly reset, where I'll pick my priority for the quarter and craft a new identity around it. Then I'll show you how I do a weekly overview and create a weekly layout, all while keeping my quarterly priority and identity in focus by using the Premeditated Picks free printable. Plus the stickers will make my planner pretty spooky and make planning more fun. Decoration isn't necessary, but for me, it turns the weekly reset into a relaxing reward. And speaking of a relaxing reward, let's make the low carb on the high seas version of the 1950s Dawn Beach Zombie while we let our brains chill. And I've solved the carb heavy pineapple problem for all low carb on the high seas cocktails, so we don't have to run from recipes that call for pineapple like we're eluding a slow moving herd of the undead ever again. It's been suspected that the 1950 Dawn Beach Zombie was allowed to be published as a decoy to protect the 1934 zombie recipe and to prevent competitors from creating their own dead ringers, since the only thing that it has in common with the original is that both are stiff enough to cause rigor mortis. Since pineapple is not a low carb on high seas ingredient, I had to get creative and, well, you know I like a challenge. So we'll start today's cocktail by making low carb on the high seas pineapple syrup, which is 1 cup water, 2 packets crushed pineapple mix, 2 tablespoons brown swerve, ½ teaspoon absinthe, ¼ teaspoon salt, ½ ounce lemon juice, add it into a blender, add 1 teaspoon of xanthan gum while blending on low. If you plan on storing your mix for more than a month, add ½ ounce white rum to aid in preservation. Allow to rest in the fridge for 15 to 20 minutes while you gather supplies, prepare the garnish, and chill your glass. Once chilled, in a tin add 1 ounce low carb on the high seas pineapple syrup, 1 ounce fresh lime juice, 1 ounce fresh lemon juice, 1 ounce silver or white rum, 1 ounce gold aged rum. Flash blend without ice or dry shake vigorously. Add ice, flash blend for 5 seconds, or shake with ice until the tin is frosty. Pour into a chilled mug or highball glass, top with more ice to fill, leaving room for a ½ ounce Lemon Heart 151 floater. Garnish with a sprig of fresh mint, low carb on the high seas homemade Luxardo cherries, and a straw. This low carb on the high seas version of Dawn Beach's 1950 zombie proves that anything is possible when we put our brains to it. And in Premeditated Fervor tradition, we'll toast our grave transformation and bury the old habits to unearth the new. Here's to our past ways, and to our old habits, may they rest in peace and never haunt us again. Cheers to a new identity and committing Premeditated Fervor. Now on to the master plan. Hold on. There must be someone at the door. I'll be right back. Attention, Skeleton Key Society. This is the Commodore. I've returned from the Enchanted Island with the only way into the vault, the Skeleton Key. But we aren't safe yet. The key is currently suspended over the Cauldron of Doom, and I'm here to lead the first expedition to save it and finally unlock the vault. Inside, we've secured the ultimate haul. Global digital access to all low carb on the high seas recipes for every SKS member. And for one US-based survivor, the actual physical Tiki Hut recipe archive itself. This isn't just a box, it's a piece of the island. And I've personally relined the interior myself. And when you lift the latch to peek inside, you'll see that you're not alone. There are tiny hand-sculpted bats roosting in the rafters to guard your cards. Use the cross keys on top to lock your recipes in place while you pour. To break the seal on the digital vault for the collective, share a scare using the QR code, the YouTube share button, and by clicking the end screen videos to pull that key back from the break. To win the physical archive, repost the Pretty Spooky Share a Scare QR code to Instagram and Facebook, and tag me with hashtag Pretty Spooky Presents, SKS, and hashtag sweepstakes. Every share strengthens our expedition. Be sure to check the Pretty Spooky Community tab for complete rules. Fortune favors the bold and the thirsty. Commodore out. Well, that was odd. There was no one there. Maybe just the wind. Did you see anything? I don't know. The Sunken compass is always full of plenty of spirits. I'm sure it was nothing, right? Let me know in the comments if you saw something that I didn't, and I'll check them later. Right now, we have a plan to master. At the start of each quarter, it's time to rethink, reload, and reanimate zombie style. Put the DNA of goal setting into practice, starting with Dream Differently. Decide what you want and figure out what hasn't been working by taking a fresh stab at it with a new way to slay. For me, my priority has always been Pretty Spooky Presents, and one of the obstacles to my productivity is late nights of editing and planning. Not getting enough sleep is slowing me down to a crawl and making me feel like a zombie. The next step is to create an identity, a grave new you with a sentence starter, I am somebody who, and fill in the blank as the first sentence of this quarter's journal. For me, my first sentence is, I am somebody who is a well-rested, productive creator. This is one of the many reasons I included free printable stickers to match each quarter's theme. All you need are some basic white 8.5 by 11 sticker sheets, a printer, and scissors. Go to prettyspooky.life, find the Pretty Spooky Planning tab, locate the Premeditated Fervor theme you want for the quarter, click on the image, copy it, align the edges to the edges of your computer's open document, and print. For this quarter's theme, you'll have Tiki themed borders and dividers, just like you'd use washi tape, spear stickers to point to important tasks and events, and plenty of other embellishments of various sizes to make your planner your own exotic escape to commit premeditated fervor. For all of us dying to be organized, the next step is to use the free printable that's an integral part of the weekly overview, the Premeditated Picks menu. It's a portable list of all the ideas you dream up for different fun and spooky themed ways to improve life areas of your choosing. You'll customize 3 to 8 categories to meet your unique goal DNA, write them across the top, and when you come up with a spooky new way to accomplish goal X, jot it down so you always have plenty of fun, goal-oriented self-improvement options at your weekly overview. This is another good reason to choose a portable planner that's always accessible. Just be sure to look at the 3 colorful columns first, since these will be the life areas you really want to focus most. Think of the planner as a second brain. Brains. Once a week, you'll assess your schedule and energy levels to choose from your premeditated picks, so you're always progressing in one or more of your life areas. All premeditated picks will result in progress. Any action is evidence you're helping to eradicate zombie syndrome. All you need is cardstock, scissors, and a printer. And just like the stickers, you can come back and print extras at any time. For the daily crawl towards consistency, there are a few extra stickers. These are for the Keystone habit of AM and PM journal entries, for setting the tone for each day with a daily intention that relates to your new identity, and a PM celebration of any progress made, no matter how small. A win is a win. To have enough sentence starters for each day of the quarter, plan to print 10 sheets at once and come back to prettyspooky.life to print more at any time. And that's it. All you need is a planner, a journal, and some Pretty Spooky free printables. Whenever you have an outbreak of zombie syndrome and life is falling apart, commit premeditated fervor to keep it all together. We'll start each quarter together by adopting a fresh new identity, a new theme with more Pretty Spooky free printables. I'll share recipes for fun snacks and drinks to turn our quarterly resets and weekly overviews into ceremonious and enjoyable events. So be thinking ahead of what you want next quarter's theme to be and put your ideas in the comments. Of course, I want your opinion. So let's put our heads together and spill some brains. I'll conduct a poll on my community tab, and I'm dying to see what ideas you unearth. So be on the lookout for regular quarterly resets and occasional weekly overviews. From now on, consider me your accomplice and accomplishment. I'm so excited that we'll be committing premeditated fervor together, slaying our goals and murdering monotony. I loved being your haunted hostess. You were a wonderful guest, and you're welcome back always. Farewell until next time. Cheers. Alright, maybe the haircut will bring the luck. By putting an eerie angle on the everyday. Okay, and premeditated fervor. The zombie is one of the most... Sometimes I forget to press record. Yeah. No reason to wander through life like a zombie. I can do better. Like a zombie. Like a zombie. That one wasn't bad. One more time without weird face stuff. Because I'm revealing I'm revealing about a 1950 zombie. That one's probably the best one.